I'm Coach Ant with fans that know some. And today, I just want to start out by saying, I know it's been a while, but guys, we appreciate you being with us. Coach T isn't with me today. Just so you guys know, Coach T has been dealing with some health issues, but he is doing fine. He's doing great. He will be back. I really didn't want to start the show until he was able to return, but I got his blessing. He said, hey, continue to build upon what we started, and I'll be back soon. So, Coach T, I know you'll be back, man. So today I'm going to hold it down for us. Let's get into it. So today we're going to talk about the moments that make sports bigger than sports. You know, you have that contrast between faith and legacy. So at some point we're going to dive into it. But before we do that, let's first start by going into the gridiron. So with a fascinating quarterback comparison between Dillon Gabriel, who had the luxury of a full offseason and 11 weeks of first-team reps. Now, I know he split some of those reps with Joe Flacco and Pickens and some of the other guys in the offseason. But for the most part, once he became the starter, he's been getting first-team reps from day one. Versus Shedeur Sanders, who stepped in his first NFL start for the Raiders with just 1 week of preparation. Two very different paths, two very different performances. But which one tells us more about the talent, adaptability, and upside? We'll dive into the numbers and that narrative. So one, I just want to go into the statistical comparison of just that. Okay. So as we look into just the whole way that this whole thing has played out, I want you guys to see the stats because I know a lot of people are just looking at what Dillon Gabriel did in his first start, which he had about 190 yards. But we're going to look at, again, full first season, beginning of the season, first team reps to now. So let's take a look at this, okay? Now, my takeaway looking at these stats, okay, you look at 11 weeks of prep, average about 156 yards with a consecutive, decent games, but they were very conservative. I mean, we're looking at 5 yards, an attempt here. So, again, you can really dive into the numbers and see what that looks like. And we want to compare that to Shedeur. Shedeur 1 week, and within that 1 week, we can see that he had more passing yards than Dillon Gabriel has yet to be able to put up for the Cleveland Browns. And on top of that, he had the longest pass that we've seen in a long time from a Cleveland Browns quarterback. So to me, again, do we compare, the being familiar with the system, just being conservative, being able to get the job done versus the upside that we see with Shedeur? Now, this is my take, and a lot of people are looking at this. Dillon Gabriel is not a bad quarterback. Okay, he's not a bad quarterback. And to be honest, I said this on our previous shows. Dillon was put in a situation that, okay, Stefanski, that was his guy. He gave him all the reps. He treated him like, okay, I'm going to put my focus on him. Dillon Gabriel had more than enough opportunities to come in and really just cement himself as the future for the Browns. But what he showed many of us who people here who watch, who are Browns fans, we watch every game. Some people just are commenting based off of like narrative and things, just looking at numbers. We're looking at the eye test, and we see that he's a quarterback that looks, and I know it's early, but he looks like a backup quarterback, somebody that can manage the game. And we have yet to see that spark that shows pure talent, that shows when everything breaks down, okay, we can win a game because of something you did. Not the script, not just following, being a good quarterback. He's shown that he can manage the game. But when it breaks down, can you make special plays? We have yet to see that from Dillon Gabriel. So I want to show you guys an example of that. We all know, you guys seen it multiple times when we start to look at some of the video, right? So if we go to these clips here, and you can look at, when I think about the one play that stands out, okay, the 52-yard bomb, that play right there, the blitz is coming, and Shedeur steps away from the pocket, escapes away, and throw. You can see the reaction from the players. Okay. Deion's happy. You know, that's a play, the talent that a player has. A quarterback has to make a couple of these plays in a game that shows, okay, we can win because of you. Now, when we look at Dillon Gabriel, there's been many times where the defense has put him in good yardage situations that gives him a better opportunity to throw touchdown passes. Okay. It's been very manageable. Okay. But we have yet to see him do something special that gives a Cleveland Brown fan hope. Now, we want to look at another clip when Shedeur threw, and we can go to the next clip real quick. If we know the screen pass. Look at this here. Okay. Nice screen pass, but we know Sampson did his job. He made something that was small, but was huge. Now, many of you guys can say, and I've already seen it, well, Sampson did all the work. But again, he kept his eyes down the field and then threw that pass. That's a great quarterback play. Now, let's go to very similar play against the Jets with Dillon Gabriel. He had the same similar setup. Now, we see some of the passes just way off. But it's this one I want you guys to look at. Not that one. I mean, that's terrible. But that right there, that's the screenplay. He had daylight on that play. If we get, I mean, it looks simple, and it is from a high-level quarterback situation or, you know, their skill level. But for many who will try to diminish when Shedeur made that same play, and then we see the same opportunity that Dillon had to throw a screen pass. And again, this is not knocking Dillon to the point where we're like, okay, we want the guy to be unsuccessful. He had every opportunity, and we've seen a lot of him, okay? And we've seen plays like that over and over, not the typical, okay, you got an incomplete pass here, you got a misread here. We know that's going to happen with rookie quarterbacks. But from that example right there, you guys are seeing there's many plays that are just like so bad, so egregious, where you're like, okay, enough is enough. So again, we're looking at a player who can manage the game versus a player who has showing splashes of being special. That's what Shedeur has given many of the fans who want to see it. He had his opportunity and he seized the moment. Okay. Now, I know it's one game. Many people will say, okay, it's against the Raiders. Now, again, Dillon had a game, that same game where that pass went over the player's head. That was against the Jets, who at the time had 7 losses. Okay, 7 losses. Many coined that game to be a game where, okay, he had an opportunity to put up some good numbers and show some talent because of the level of the opponent. And the Jets just traded away their top defenders at the D-line and the cornerback position. So you expect Dillon to really shine in that game, and he didn't. You look at Shedeur, complete opposite going into that same situation, but under much more difficult circumstances, which leads me to go to the next thing, his confidence, which is led by his faith. You guys saw in his post-game comments about what gives him the confidence, and it's his belief in God, his belief in what he prepped for, him not having any worries because of that. Now, people think, okay, well, God is there for everyone, of course, but he's talking about his journey. It's not about the wins. It's not about the losses. It's about the bigger picture of the game. Going in with everybody knew coming into the draft that he, for the most part, all the experts had him as, if not the top quarterback coming in, at least 1 or 2. And to get put in the 5th round, that created a story within itself, okay? So when people say, why are we talking this much about a 5th round pick who was the 4th quarterback on the roster? Because, one, not only is Deion's son, because his talent is not a 5th round talent, Okay. His talent is not a fourth string quarterback on a team. And the fact that you draft two rookie quarterbacks, that creates drama. And you draft one who was projected to be a lot better than the other one. And you give the other one more reps and prioritize his success over Shedeur. That's why we're talking about him, you know? And the fact that he's dealt with all of that throughout this entire season and understanding the pressure, understanding how many people are really, out of all the love he gets, there's a lot of people who want to see him fail. And he comes in with all that on his shoulder and still delivers. That's the faith that he has. And that's why his story is bigger than the game, and he's going to succeed because of that. So I'm one of the people that's putting the wrists up, you know, perfect timing. Shedeur, he's going to make it happen. And I'm telling you guys, more to come. It is more to come. This kid got it. And we'll see how it all plays out. But I know at the end of the day, he will be a great quarterback in this league. All right. So with that being said, I have to switch gears a little bit. I got my hat here. My Lakers, okay. I don't know if I should put it up here or not. But I got LeBron right here. So we'll just put it right here. So look, the Lakers, LeBron going into year 23, many people, because he didn't start the season, many people are saying, well, he should come off the bench, yada, yada, yada. Stop the noise. Stop that. LeBron James, this is the first year in a long time where you can look at the young players that's on his team and the team is getting production while he was rehabbing, getting ready for the season. LeBron James, the way he plays the game, his ability to adapt, being the league's most has the most points in NBA history, but being the most unselfish superstar, he can adapt and play with anyone. So LeBron is really, you can tell the joy in his face playing with this team because he knows he doesn't have to carry the burden. Last year against the Dallas Mavericks, LeBron, with Luka not being in full shape, the team, you know, had those same moments where our plus minus just wasn't the same with LeBron on the floor. Anytime he goes to the bench, we lose, you know, whether the runs, our point production, you name it. This year is different, and that's all LeBron wants at this stage in his career. He's been wanting that for years. If you go back to the Cleveland days, even with the championship teams, when LeBron James goes to the bench, the team's production drops. This team is showing something special with the resurgence of Luka, him being in shape, having an MVP-like season. We have a balanced team. You have Austin Reeves, who's becoming a star. Levedia, he's doing his thing. I mean, the whole team, this is a well-balanced team. I believe we have a shot to be a championship contender. But you know what? I'm going to have to dive in deeper on this. We're going to get some facts and data to show. Facts and data, that's what it's all about. All right, guys. Coach Ant, Coach T is coming back. I'm signing off. Peace. Let's get it.